Alright buds, episode 7. We're delighted to have Natalie on discussing her bariatric surgery. She chats about her journey from band to bypass and shares how she's decided on the bypass. We had a great chat, lots of fun, hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, share and follow. Thanks buds.
Alright bud.
Episode 7.
Episode 7.
Here we are. Our very special long-awaited guest. I say long-awaited, but that's down to someone. That wasn't down to you. It was calendar issues, we'll say. But Natalie, thanks so much.
Natalie, welcome.
You're very
welcome.
Thanks for bringing us all the goodies.
Yeah. They're setting maybe Darryl started something now. And
Yeah. So everyone that comes has to bring something.
we'll have to be thinking of what guests we want on.
Yeah.
You need to be saying it in the podcast, Rolexes, you know.
Yeah.
Television.
That's a good. Well,
flat
if you just get me, if you can just get me a comfortable 5XL t-shirt that fits, that'd be grand. Or a nice shirt.
You won't need it soon. What are you talking
Won't
about?
need it,
Yeah,
yeah.
coming
Positive
down
thinking.
the X's, but you gave me a jacket. I know.
Coming down the X's, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy
You're
you got.
happy now because you take comfort.
Do you know what? I'm back to that's great. No. But come here, Natalie, thanks so much for coming on. And we were eager to get you on. And actually, you were supposed to be our first guest. No offence, Darryl. Darryl was great.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But for us, and I think I've shared this as well, that me and Pete are giving this one last go. Like,
I get it.
and if it doesn't work this time next year, I'm going on to the bypass or to to gastric surgery, and I don't feel any shame about saying that, because by that stage I'll be 42, and we will touch on this, but as far as I'm concerned, I've given an account of myself to try and change lifetime habits that just aren't working.
Yeah.
So that said, tell us a bit about yourself, and I guess start from you're on now, and as you sit there, how much weight have you actually lost?
Nearly 7.5, 8 stone.
Savage.
Yeah.
And she showed us
Really?
the pictures,
So
and we will get them up on the thing if you don't mind.
Yeah,
sharing.
no problem.
Geez, and that's off the back of what's the surgery you had?
I had bypass, but it goes way back. I had the gastric band when I was 30.
Okay.
So I had Eve, I had my daughter, and I said, I can't do this anymore. Just couldn't play with the kids. I said, I'm going to go. So off I went with a hope and a dream. And I had, now look, I'm not knocking it. I had the band and I was 22 stone. And I think I got down to 16, but it was very difficult. I spent a lot of time vomiting. Food got stuck.
Yeah.
The kids, and it's really horrible because the kids would go, oh, Mum's in the toilet again, just leave her.
Wow.
So I'd eat vegetables, I'd eat meat, all the healthy stuff. Used to sit on the band, and it's like it used to bounce, and I'd be getting this. It's called
dumping.
no, it's like a burp. It's like phlegm comes up, and the food is stuck there, and it's like it's trying to push down. Oh, it's the most horrendous feeling. I used to be in the car with, nappy bags. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying that. And I'd have one in the seat, and I'd be spitting into it like.
Yeah.
And that was the whole time?
Most of the time, yeah. So with the band, they put it in. You go in for surgery, grand. You're out the same day, and they put a port under your skin so they can adjust it. So that's grand, and you get to this sweet spot and whatever. Yeah, never really happened with me. So it was either too loose or too tight.
Wow.
There was a never in between.
And then tight was...
Yeah, like I couldn't eat. So I remember Christmas one year sitting on the chair up straight, because every time I lay down, the food came up into my nose and into my lungs, and I was literally choking.
Moly.
So Martin had to bring me to get it. Martin's my husband, sorry. He had to bring and get it loosened.
So you get the fluid taken out of the band,
Yes.
and then if you want more in,
So
tighten it.
it basically, if you imagine your esophagus and then into your stomach, they make a little pouch that what it does is when the food's going through, it stimulates it to think you've eaten loads, and then it goes in and then you're satisfied. It's like a feeling, but by God, I battled, and
And do people get the band is it a short term thing, like?
Well, when I went in, and because obviously this was years ago, they were like, no, it can stay in, don't worry, you can keep it in for years. And then there was a whole thing about oh, no, hang on, you need to get it out. It's a foreign body. Your stomach
Your
starts
body's actually telling you to
attacking
get
it.
out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
this is why I chose the bypass.
Right.
So I had a gastric bypass in February 2022. And that was, 10 years? 10 years,
yeah.
exactly. I started having trouble. So having pains in my side. I had no fluid in the band. Couldn't eat anything. I was not able to eat healthy food. I was literally, like, and this is, it's not funny, but it is, my dinner consumed of, I was consuming a tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. It's the only I could swallow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and a couple of my friends would say to me, is like, seriously, that's not good. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, because at this stage now, I had gotten pregnant, and obviously they took all the fluid out when you're
Yeah.
pregnant, because, you know, you have to be able to eat for the baby.
of
So
course, yeah.
I had the little one, and I went back and I tried, and no.
And come
Just
here,
couldn't.
did you get that done in Ireland?
I got it done in Ireland. Yeah, I haven't had any surgery outside of Ireland.
And I want to tip onto that in a while, but so tell us a little bit, bring us back a little bit. So and I know there's people out there that'll be like, oh yeah, she just woke up one day and decided I'm gonna have this. So
No.
I mean, me and you spoke about this on and
Yeah.
off around diets, like
Listen,
like me and P.
I've done everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've done it all. I've done the juices, I've done the calorie counting, I've done the online, I've had a personal trainer, I've had a dietitian, I've went to a weight management clinic, I've done Slimming World, I've done Weight Watchers. I've even went to the point where I was like, I wonder if you can take like a tapeworm that eats the food you eat.
I feel
And that's
we're a
funny.
little wolf pack here.
But
Yeah.
like, I would have done it.
Yeah, I would
I'd
have
have
needed
done
a snake.
anything.
I wouldn't have needed a word. We need a snake.
You know, the people that get their mouths wired shut.
Oh man.
trying to shove a McDonald's chip through it. Like, I could imagine myself. No,
Yeah.
I've tried everything. I'm not like,
And you're talking over many years, you're not
oh my
like,
god, I've been big since I was about 9.
it's mad.
I started
And I know
started
your
Weight
mum.
Watchers
Yeah,
when I was 10.
know your mum. Your mum is like that.
Oh, I
Come
started
here, your
Weight
mum's like
Watchers.
that.
My mum is small, yes.
Yeah.
So, like, my mum would never be any, like, hurt for anything. But she's seen me all my life going through this.
Yeah, that would have hurt.
And she,
Yeah. Gosh,
because I was upset, and
Yeah.
you know, it messes with your head,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
it's horrible. And she would say, if you want to go, I'll go with you. She came with me when I got the band.
Yeah. And
She went to everything with me.
the band, like, is that something that the doctor would have recommended you do?
So
or-
my doctor would have been like, look, especially when I went through my pregnancies, because I ended up getting diabetes on one of my pregnancies, and my obstetrician was lovely. A lovely, lovely man. I would never be hurtful, but he was like, you're carrying a bit of weight. Your knee is going. So I had trouble with my right knee, and you're going to need surgery. And you know, if you get pregnant again, it's hard on you, because my weight was creeping up.
And was
I
that
was-
the first time you loved the doctor in your life?
Yeah, I was like, I'm out of here. He just said to me, look, you know, it's hard on you, it's hard on the baby. Like, I got up to 25 stone when I was pregnant on my
Wow.
son,
Right.
Well,
and oh my god, it was so difficult to be pregnant.
imagine.
I couldn't.
I just think that there is, like, between the genders, I'd say there's a lot more to think about for women. Because
Yeah.
if you had the band, you'd get the fluid taken out, you want to have a baby.
yeah.
Then you have the baby, you get the fluid
Yeah.
back in. Like, so for women that want to start a family but are big, might want to get the sleeve, are they able to do it? Because do they take
Yes.
some hormones out as well?
They take, I think with the sleeve, they take out 80% of your stomach. And
Sorry, is the sleeve and the band the same thing?
no, the
No.
sleeve, the band and the bypass. So the band is basically something they put in,
Yeah.
and the sleeve and the bypass, they don't take anything out in the bypass, they just make your stomach smaller.
Smaller, yeah.
It's still all there,
Yeah.
but in the bypass they actually remove it. They
So
remove
when
it.
you were going for the options, why is that tip? Like, so you can reverse one of them, I suppose, can you?
You can't reverse the sleeve.
Because your stomach is
Ever.
You can reverse the bypass. It's very difficult.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's reversible.
Well,
but
well.
I didn't get it because it was reversible. So
yeah.
I mentioned where I had it done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I went off to Dr. William Robb in the Blackrock Clinic, and
Mm.
he's a lovely man. And I went in and I said to him, this is the story. I need this band out. The place I had the band in were not very forthcoming on it, would I say.
Wow.
So yeah, the aftercare was shocking there, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Go
no,
on.
because something, Is it because it was a financial thing for them every time it was filled or taken out?
Yes.
It cost,
So it was
so they didn't want to
€100.
take it
It
out
was
'cause they were making
€100.
money?
Yeah, €100 to get it filled, nothing to take it out.
That's a joke. Sorry, isn't it?
It's like, and I'm thinking here, the amount of people that would be listening to this and thinking, oh, I'm going to Turkey because it's
Like,
cheaper.
I can tell you how much it was for the band.
And I'll get to that
'Cause
now.
I don't have
But you know, for
Yeah.
people listening, they're thinking, go to Turkey because it's cheaper. I know, because it's
Yeah.
cheaper. But people would always say, oh, stay in Ireland because the aftercare is better. Sure.
That was making money
And-
out of a person, though. That's disgusting.
But that's not the, like, and just to clarify, everyone that has the band has to go through that in Ireland. Like,
Some people get it in and there's restriction enough, so they call it restriction. So they say, oh no, you've enough restriction. They know. They won't touch it until about a month after surgery because your stomach's swollen. So they do it laparoscopic.
Right,
You're not
yeah,
open
yeah.
for it or anything. So
Mm.
they do it like that, and then they say to you, now they give you like stuff. Like, I went to an Irish place and I got, I paid, I think it was 7,500
oh, just for the band.
for the band.
Wow. And was Aftercare supposed to be included in that? Did you
There
know?
was a year aftercare.
And did you know every time you have to go in to fill or refill?
For the first year, I didn't have to pay for fills. Or you don't pay for defills. I didn't have to pay for fills. And then after the year, I went in the November. It was, I think, 4 days after my 30th birthday. I remember sitting in there going, what the hell am I doing? Anyway, sitting looking at a magazine with food and starving. And I went in anyway, and I was last of the day and went in, woke up, whatever, came out, popped home. And it was about a month. Like, it's very hard because you don't know what to eat. And then the food was getting stuck.
And did they not tell you, like?
They tell you what to eat, but your body reacts differently. So
Course.
with the bypass, somebody may be able to eat something, and I can't eat it. So it's a very individual thing.
Right.
So say you went tomorrow and you had it done and you were like, oh, Natalie, what did you eat the first week?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
said, well,
yeah.
Stuart, I had eggs.
Yeah.
You may not be able to eat eggs.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat eggs. I can now.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve. Every day is
Like,
different.
that sounds not
Oh
funny,
my
but
God.
that sounds bleeding horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I really want to get across, like, no hold bar. We don't want to hold that back because
No.
if there's people there like us and like that, the way you wear huge or whatever, and they're thinking like, I want to do something about this, and they're thinking about the band.
Oh my God, the band! I would just say to people, it's very hard. It's a very hard tool to have because if you get stressed, it tightens. If you're a
Wow.
woman and it's times of the month, it
Yeah.
tightens.
Yeah,
You may be able to eat chicken one day, you may get up the next day and it's stuck in your neck, and you will be.
Yeah.
And to get that chicken through, you may have to get it defilled, and then you're back to the start again. So
Oh
I
my
just couldn't
God.
do it anymore. And then the vomiting ruins
Yeah.
your teeth.
Yeah,
And
teeth
it's
'cause
You
of
know,
the
and
acid,
there's
so
some
it's kinda
people are
saying
still
Yeah.
people are still getting the band done.
any good weight loss clinic will not do gastric bands anymore. They will not
It
do
makes
Am I
sense.
right in saying, Dr. Rob, because
Yeah.
before I started this, I was looking and the backstory, I think
Yeah.
most people know, is Carol was like, don't just give us one last go, which is grand. But I had made an appointment and I spoke to this actually, she's lovely
Deborah.
woman. She's a lovely woman, she
Yeah.
is. And there's no hard sell. I was like, I don't think I'm
No.
ready for this. She goes, that's all right, it's at your own pace, you know, it was great. So I didn't feel like, here, get in
Oh,
here
no.
and do it. Like,
No, don't. It's
but I do believe from going on, I joined a few groups, was he doesn't force any one option on you. You sit down, tell us about that. You sit down
so
and then you
went up
discuss.
to the appointment and went in, and he said to me, how, give me the story, like you, what did you have, blah, blah. He goes, right, one thing I'm going to tell you is I'm taking the band out. And I said, grand. He said, now, I would recommend bypass because I've had weight loss surgery. My body has experienced weight loss surgery.
Okay.
So the bypass is, in his words, the gold standard of weight loss. If this is your last hurrah at this,
Yeah.
this is the way to go. Because if you don't do it with this,
It's never.
you're never going to kind of adjust to it. So he said, because I went in looking at the sleeve, because I was thinking, oh, the sleeve, no dumping, and now people get dumping on the sleeve, but it's a little bit different.
Dumping is.
So dumping is when you eat something and your body absorbs it, and it absorbs it quickly, and you get a reaction, and it is horrendous. I am not going to lie, because I experienced it last week.
Tell us what it is. Though.
So you eat the food and it's all lovely, and then you get this nauseous feeling and you start sweating, and sometimes you can get diarrhea, and you can get vomiting.
Oh man.
And it's a nauseousness that hangs over you. I go nowhere without Motilium and Buscopan.
So you get that regardless. That's what part of the weight loss surgery
Yeah.
dumping.
So it's from sugary stuff. It's mostly
Right.
from sugary foods.
Right.
So sweets, cakes, ice cream is my demon.
And these are things that you can still eat.
Well,
Well,
if I want to lie in the chair for a half an hour, I actually had a snooze last week. The sweat was pumping out.
Yeah.
Here was if just leave Mum alone.
it's
Just
just not worth it.
it's not worth it. Now, it depends. Like, I could have a little bit of an ice cream cone, I'm okay, but I had a very luxurious one, I'm going to say it, and I had a couple of spoonfuls of it. But I was like, kids, we need to get into the car. Mommy needs to go home.
Like, oh my
Sleep.
God.
I didn't know where it was going to come out. That's disgusting.
I
I know.
but that's the
But
reality.
I could
yeah.
hear my tummy going. So
And was it pain?
if
Like,
you
is it
can-
uncomfortable? Like,
it's like having a tummy bug. It's that.
I
know
what
that
mean. Yeah,
nauseousness.
I know what you mean.
But I feel it here in my stomach, and people are probably looking at me. So you have your stomach here, but I have a little stomach that's like a little man-made one,
Yeah.
and you'll hear it gurgling and all when something doesn't agree. Like the noises I make, it's like.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, I'd be lying in bed, and whatever it is, it's like it digests, and I'm like.
Just like- come here. Just get back to why did you choose Dr. Rob? Like, why did you look Ireland and not Turkey after the experience you had?
I just look. I'm not going to say I didn't. I did contact somebody in Turkey, because I know somebody that had it in Turkey, but I had a band to get out. I had a little step further. So,
Right.
you know, I know people that have gone to Turkey, they've gone to Lithuania, they're not a bother on them. They're doing
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Mm.
I'm not knocking anywhere. I felt more comfortable going here. I rang Deborah, and I was lucky, you know, the health insurance.
Covered
I
you.
have health
Part-
insurance. so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
covered.
yeah,
Now I had to pay money.
yeah. Yeah,
My
I was
health
saying
insurance-
when I looked into it,
My health
yeah.
insurance didn't cover the band removal,
Yeah.
so I had to pay that myself. So
Oh,
that's
right.
fine. So that was 4,500
Wow.
straight off. And he told me when he got in there, he may not be able to do the bypass at the same time. He said, you may have to come back. And here I was. He doesn't do that.
No.
So my first question when I woke up was,
Did you go?
did you do both of the surgeries? And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're in there for like 4 hours, Natalie. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a little bit more.
What prep did you have to do going into that
So
surgery?
you have to do, you have to see like a psychologist.
Okay, fair enough.
So now obviously this was like COVID, and he rang me and he was on the computer or whatever, and he asks you questions and stuff, you know. So you have to make sure you're ready. You know what I mean? Because you can get this done and you can still eat and not lose weight. You can choose to not use this as a tool. It's only a tool.
And I love when you say that, because that's so important for the, I'm going to call them, for this naysayers. They're like, oh, you're cheating. It's a tool. Yeah, yeah.
It's like a portioning tool. That's what I'd say it is. Because my food wouldn't have been overly bad. No, look, I like my food, like takeaways, but I would cook, but my portions are too big.
Yeah.
So if I just needed help with the portions, and you know, and then I've always been active. I've danced I joined Slim World in 2018. And like that, I started dancing, and I lost a couple of stone. I got down to about 15.5 stone, and like that, I'd only sniff a burger, man. I'd be up 7 pounds.
Some people
Yeah.
listen to this, right? Like, that's great. Why didn't? And when we show you the picture, we'll show you. Like, there's different mobility when you're big. It's
Yeah.
like you shared something during the week. Your man Sean Casey
Yeah.
had something like for trainers to come around, and you know, these fit people, which is great. Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Try and do the same thing that you're teaching a heavy client
Yes.
with a 35
Yeah,
kilo
that's-
dumbbell.
Your joints.
Your joints and stuff.
Oh,
so
my knee. I
and
get it.
that's another thing why, and to give the context for in your story, is that this has allowed you, because like
Yeah.
you're in the gym now
Yeah.
8 days a week.
Love the gym.
Yeah.
The gym. Just was like, as I say, was dancing in and out of the gym, and used to do kettlebells with a trainer, and did it for 2 years, and loved it. Was big, but still was doing it. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like I've always been active, but I just needed help. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I
Yeah.
needed help.
And that's what the tool. It is only a tool.
It's
You
a
still
tool.
have
And when
to
you
put
walk
in the
in
effort
there,
and the work.
He said to me,
Yeah.
this is the tool, and if you don't use it this time, you're not going to lose the weight. That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people out there that probably have the few quiz like, oh, I'm going to Blackrock sort out this problem. I haven't. And that's why I think it's so
Yeah.
important to highlight all the stuff that you've
I
gone through.
researched it
because-
for a long time.
But not even the research and surgery part, but mentally you were ready.
Yeah,
It's like,
I was ready.
I'm ready. Whereas someone is just like, willy-nilly, I've 2 stone to lose.
You're
and-
not doing it just because you want to get into that dress in the corner. You're not doing it. You're doing it because you want to change your life. You don't want to feel like that, mentally trapped. Get up every day. Like this is my head when I'd wake up and I'd go, what diet are we doing today? What food are we not going to have today? So
That's-
I was
that's
caught in
prisoner,
this
prisoner.
prison.
Prisoner.
And I wake up now in the morning, I'm like, right, gym, class, let's go. Do you know what I mean?
Burst
It's
with energy.
completely different. Someone would say to me, like, and you know I'm very outgoing.
Yeah.
I always used my... People would say, oh, you're very funny and you're very jolly. But I always used that to hide
Yeah.
the me. So I was always the fat friend. I'm no longer the fat friend.
I'm looking at Pete.
I have lost friends. I was only
Rick.
talking about...
Sorry, Rita. Your son's a war.
I'm not saying any curses.
I love you, but
So, like my best friend, Celine, I was always the fat friend. And, you know, like it's hard because I've lost friends. And when I walked into
Which is
Dr.
mad.
Rob's surgery, he said to me, now you're going to lose about 30 stone. And I went, here now, bud, I'm not that fat. And he was like, no, calm down. I was like, I don't need to lose 30 stone. He goes, you're going to lose friends. And I was like, don't be so silly. Everyone's so supportive once I had the surgery.
when you told me that,
Yeah.
that actually...
Very hurtful. Very
that's-
hurtful.
I struggle with that. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because as your friends, you want to see me being around for me kids for
Yeah.
the rest of my life. And, you know, if I had something wrong with me back, I go get surgery to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, and
Do you know what
you told me
it
someone
is?
last week that said the
Yeah.
same.
We went for medical for a job, and the doctor said to me, because I was sort of juggling, I still am with the getting the surgery and all the juggling. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to give it a last little
Yeah.
group. But she was encouraging it, and I said, that's mad. And she goes, why, if you are sick, like, you take a tablet, like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but you're right, but the mad thing is, doctors aren't really in support of this. When my doctors weren't.
It's mine is.
Do you know what I mean?
Mine is.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. But come here, like, that's it. Just, I can't process how a
Right.
so-called friend would
So
walk away.
I'm not going to be nasty because
No.
I could sit here and say, oh, you know, they have their own issues, Stuart.
That's it.
They have
That's
their
how I
own
think it
issues
boils
and
down
leave
to.
them with it. And if they, you know, I mean, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody, support people.
Yeah.
I would never be that person that's like, oh my God, cheek or... But they have their own issues, obviously, and, you know, they have maybe weight to lose, and they just maybe they're finding it difficult to see me. I mean, it's their
Yeah.
own issues. I'm sure they've nothing against me.
I know
It's
what you
just
mean.
maybe they've their own demons. We all
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
I mean, even people that are small, you know what I mean, everyone has their own
100%,
stuff they want to work on.
100%.
It's not,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
and
not, I've nothing against them.
Someone contacted the show, and I heard this twice actually, once from my Aunt Marie, where he's talking about people that have trouble putting on weight as well.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
people like
Everyone
that.
has a struggle of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
But do you know what I say to them type people is, you're better off without them.
Oh, 100%. So I remove
100%.
negative people out of my life now. I
100%.
don't have the energy. I
No.
just don't.
No, and
Yeah.
no way. You're after working hard to get where you are, and
Oh,
you're in
yeah.
a great headspace, and you know, why would you want to jeopardise
No,
that?
I,
when
I don't have the energy, to be honest. I'm like
Yeah.
on 41 this year.
That's my
I'm
new
just
life.
like
41.
away.
I don't
Yeah.
have the energy
Yeah.
for people.
I know. I'm like, I can't
You didn't
be
really
doing.
lose anyone though, did you? If you think of it.
No,
No,
I
you're
didn't.
right. You're right. When you think
Well,
about
not real friends, because
Yeah.
by God, I have a cohort of them girlies out there, and
Yeah.
like I have so many people in my corner.
Yeah.
I don't need
that.
anybody.
Yeah,
else.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You don't wanna
Your
be
life is
there.
better without them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come here. That's frightening. But tell us about your days. What, like, for someone that has the bypass, like, what are you eating? Because in my head, you can't.
I don't eat rabbit food. I don't eat little bits. So this morning, oh God, I probably didn't have anything really substantial. So I got up and I had a coffee and I had a banana, and then I had not together. So you're not supposed to drink and eat at the same time after you have it, because it makes the food go through quicker and it can cause more dumping. because
Okay.
it's rushing the food through your stomach. So you're not supposed to eat or drink together, so 30 minutes either side. I don't always follow that rule, I'm not going to lie.
And does it affect you at all?
Yeah. I literally need someone to smack the drink out of my hand. Anyway, because you know the way you'd have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
So this morning then, and then I had a sandwich, like a
Like what?
full sandwich.
Like what's in the sandwich? Like?
I had
like
peanut
split-
butter and jam this
All right.
morning, not the best one.
No, I'm saying, so it's
I'd
not like bread and
normally,
butter.
no, I was running around like a mad thing. My house was mental this morning. But normally I'd have like lettuce, chicken, cheese, mayonnaise.
Decent sandwich.
Yeah, or I'd have, like, I'd go into the garage and I'd get a chicken fillet wrap. Now, the wraps are very big. I'd only be able to manage half, but I have half in about 2 or 3 hours.
Nice one.
Like, I eat just smaller.
Because you're training a lot. you just-
I'm so hungry when I'm training.
what's
It's like,
the energy levels like?
good. Now, I feel at the minute now, my B12 is dropping. I get it every 4 weeks, so I can feel I'm a little bit tired. So,
Is that part of this?
yeah, so when you get the bypass, your part of your stomach that absorbs B12 is bypassed.
Oh, shit.
And nutrients bypassed. So you
So how do they
don't.
counterbalance that?
So you have to get injections.
Not just B12, you have to take loads of vitamins, do you?
Yeah. So I have a dietitian. I have an endocrinologist. I had a physiotherapy after the surgery. I have a surgeon. An endocrinologist is somebody that you get bloods every couple of weeks, and they look at your bloods and they
Oh,
tell you
very
you need
good,
this,
yeah.
you don't need that, take this and take that.
Very good.
So
Is that part of?
that's part of the after.
Wow, okay.
So there's the program with BlackRock is when you go have it, you sign up for 2 years aftercare.
Okay.
And they just help you adjust, I suppose, 'cause it's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game. Like, it's, I never thought I'd be able to go out and eat in a restaurant. Well, I can.
Well, you were
like,
bragging about your dress today and the size of the dress you wore. Tell everyone.
Yeah.
it's a size 10. Okay, I nearly after eating the mic trying to make sure I got that in there. Yeah, but like for me, the scales is not as important as the clothes size, even though the scales messes with your brain. Something terrible.
Don't be in Pete's camp.
And it is
Okay,
me.
look at
It's
them
me
lights, look.
360.
Yeah, that's the.
So my friend Rachel told me about that because here I was. I'm not losing weight. I'm in that gym. I'm going to kill some. And then I was like, oh, okay.
So this wasn't coming off scales, but you were losing.
Yeah, I was losing
That's
a
savage.
massive amount of
I
inches.
must actually down low. What's it called?
Me 360.
Me.
You're like a dope standing
Yeah.
here, torn there. Here I'd be, kids, get out, mammy's like measuring herself.
Come here. Sorry, I cut you off.
So-
You had your Sambo.
I had my Sambo, and then I'll go home and like you focus around protein.
Okay.
So protein is massive because your hair falls out.
Oh shit, right.
Yeah, so like that's
You'll
a
be
huge
bollocks,
need to
yeah.
be your,
You'll
you know what I
yeah.
mean? You have to look after your teeth. So I have to take 2 multivitamins, Biocult for my stomach, iron tablet, 2 Calci Chew for calcium. I take a peppermint one because your gallbladder can go a little bit funky, which mine is starting to go a little bit funky.
Yeah, we'll touch
Yeah.
on it in a sec, yeah.
I take an omega-3. I take a Nutri for my hair.
Right.
I take a whole and
And-
then I get my B12 injections.
And taking all them, you, as you sit here, feel normal. Like, there's
Yeah.
no, like, where you would expect with your body not getting them
No.
them nutrients.
Oh no, I'm eating about 2,000 calories now. Oh no.
Wow.
So this is the thing with the bypass. So your stomach is all lovely and tiny. You have the surgery. Oh my god, you have 2 spoonfuls of potatoes. Like I was eating half an egg when I had the surgery. Half an egg. I was like, I'm like the cheapest day ever. Like a chicken wing.
Oh,
and
Martin there.
I know.
Saving
He's like,
a fortune.
he's like, oh, I'm like 2 chicken wings, half a glass of wine, drunk, fed.
But that's
lovely.
only that's not
That's only
forever.
temporary. Your stomach
Right.
stretches. Your stomach's a
Yeah.
muscle. So obviously, what you eat in the first year is very different. I'm a year and a half out now, so I'm done now. My stomach is settled. I'm in maintenance mode.
What happens after 2 years of the aftercare? I mean,
Well, it kind of, if you want to see them, I imagine you have to pay. So you pay for the aftercare package,
it's something separate over the surgery, yeah.
but it's kind of compulsory. You
Okay.
kind of pay for it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, I
they're
did,
brilliant.
I did,
They're on
yeah.
hand. Anything's wrong, I ring them any day.
Like if you had some, let's say you're just post surgery, something's not
Complications.
right. Yeah.
Oh, straight back in there.
Straight back in,
Straight
Blackrock.
back in. Blackrock
See,
Clinic.
That
In
has
you
to
go.
be a plus staying in Ireland.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do if you went to Turkey or
I
Lithuania?
don't know how people get on a plane. Martin collected me. I went in on the Wednesday. I got out on the Friday. In between those 2 days, obviously the physio were walking me around. They were giving me pain relief, all of that. Obviously you can take tablets. It has to be all soluble because your little stomach can't take tablets. Now I can. But like he picked me up, man. Every ramp I was like, whoa.
It's only little incisions, or are they full cut?
Oh no, it's incisions. But I had 8, obviously because the band was removed. I think most people have 6, but it's painful. I'm not gonna lie. I woke up going, what am I after doing?
Yeah. How long was the pain bad for?
Like I've had 2 sections on the kids, and the pain's higher, and you get really bad gas because they pump your stomach.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. The wind pain. Yeah. Oh, mammy.
Same with people getting the appendix.
Oh
now.
yeah. They pump you full of gas. You have to walk it out, like, so you get the trapped wind. Oh, I was like, someone give me morphine. I need.
Yeah. In your shoulders.
Yeah. So the physio walked me around. Now I'm not saying I didn't mind him walking. He was a little bit, you know what I mean. He was like,
Martin, close your ears.
I know. Here I am. I'm in a night dress. You know them yokes with your arse hanging out. Here I am. Nurse, dress me. I can't be going around. I'm otherwise. But the wind went, and they give you food like a little dish of blended stuff. You have to eat blended.
Baby
stuff.
food, like
yeah.
baby.
Oh, it's blended. Liquid, and then you move.
How long's that for?
It's like clear liquid. So after about 6 weeks, you go back onto normal food.
So for 6 weeks, you're eating essentially baby food.
Yeah, matchy food. I swear to God, if I saw another yogurt.
And like, in your what are you like mentally going through that? Is it something like, this is?
It's like, what am I after doing?
Really?
Yeah, it's like the
Jesus.
smell of food. Now, I wasn't hungry for ages. The dietitian rang me a couple of days after, and I was like, I can't eat anything. I don't want to eat. I can't drink the water. What am I going to do? And she was like, no, that'll go.
That's a big thing. The water.
Oh, you have to get the water in, and you can only sip it. You're full. Like a tablespoon of yogurt, and I'm like, I'm after eating like 2 Big Mac meals. Like, it's the weirdest sensation.
Like, what happens if you don't get your water in? Something bad? Like,
no, nothing bad. You get dehydrated. I got dizzy.
Right,
so my blood pressure dropped right down. Every time I stood up, I got really dizzy.
And do you start the extra nutrients and vitamins straight away? Or is that
you
part of the shake and the stuff?
You start before it. So
Right.
they tell you to start before.
Build them up, get them into the reserves. The other thing was, did it affect, you know the way you said you got diabetes when you got pregnant? So what way does it affect that?
If you have, so I had diabetes, obviously, then I didn't have it. Now I imagine I was like borderline, do you know what I mean? I would have ended up, because if I had kept gaining weight, I would have ended up with diabetes, but it'll stop it. It reverses it.
Yeah, reversed.
It reverses it,
It's reversed,
yeah.
That's another huge plus.
It is.
What about at the start?
And if you've cholesterol or any sort of heart stuff.
Did you have to do the liver shrinking diet?
I did.
What's to tell us about that?
So that was, they give you a booklet and all, and it's all very, like they're not going to kill you if you don't stick to it and whatever, But what it does is, it shrinks the liver so they can move it out of the way to get at your stomach.
Right.
It's so they can access it easier. So it's very important. So you're making it as easy because they don't want to nick your liver. Like, there's so much that can...
You're taking the easy way out of all this.
Do you know what I mean?
Lunatics.
I didn't realise.
Oh, yeah, they can...
Like, even after with the mushy food, and then you have to do this liver thing.
So you have to do it beforehand. So it gives the surgeon the best possible chance of being able to go in. Because you have to remember, with being overweight, there's going to be fat around organs.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And the liver is fatty, so they need to kind of almost move it to get into the stomach. But they can nick it.
Oh,
like, there's things, like, I'm not sitting here going, everybody
not so long
run
ago,
out.
there was a girl who went to Turkey and died.
Yeah.
Getting
So
the
things
bypass.
go wrong. Like, I know loads of people that have had what's called a stricture. So it's when they can narrow, and they can
What can narrow now?
So when you get it, so there's obviously, they make your new little stomach, and the hole going into your stomach can slowly get smaller, and you can't eat. So I follow a couple of women that have had it done on Instagram. So I was watching these and their journey and and one of them has been in and out getting she has to get a balloon, and it makes it bigger to so she can eat.
And
like,
she's bypassed as well?
Yeah, and she was losing too much weight. Now, luckily, I've been very lucky. I've had, run-of-the-mill bypass. I've had no complications
you went through the war
so far.
before, like.
Yeah, but look, I'm very much, you get on
You
with
went
it.
through the war before, and Jordan, it sounds.
And after.
And still, like...
Like, it's
Is there a risk of you losing too much weight now?
No, probably not, because I eat well. Like, I don't starve myself.
Yeah,
like,
that's
people
good.
would be... I'm in maintenance mode now, so if I'm hungry, I eat.
And You don't have to answer this, right? But
Oh God.
skin, like, I'd imagine skin.
Oh yeah, I have skin.
And what happens there then?
So this is the next kind of thing for me. It's like Dr. Rob, he rings me and he's like, you know, you want to, we go down the skiing route. So I like, you can see I have it here. So I have it here, I have it here.
It's
my
not
legs.
very noticeable.
It's-
No, you wouldn't
Well,
notice
I'm
it now.
hiding it now. You know, there's a whole. I tell everyone, and you were at my fortune. Here I am. It's a mirage. When this comes off, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
listen.
No, come here.
It's
You look
not as
brilliant, you do.
bad.
No,
like
but
it's my stomach used to hit here
Right.
on my leg when I
Yeah.
stood up. I'm
Yeah.
no joke. I'm not like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
nothing to hide.
and your legs, what about your legs?
Yeah, no, I do have skin on my legs.
But is Dr. Rob looking after that?
You can go and have surgery now. I don't know if it's covered under. I don't know. Look, maybe I don't know. But for me, it doesn't overly upset me. I know that's because when I look in the mirror, I go, yeah, they're my war wounds.
Yeah, or else you could be left with scars anyways.
Yeah. So like, if
That's
there was that and I wanted removed, it'd be this and
Yeah.
this. See this back fat, mammy. I had to be walking in the gym trying to get rid of that. And obviously, I hate my legs. I've always hated my legs, and now I have weird legs. So I always wear long dresses or really thick tights. But I still, like, I've skin on my arms. I've skin under here.
But how happy are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Like, I
Yeah, you
wouldn't
can see it.
change it for the world.
If I've known you when you were, excuse, big,
Right.
but you've always
No,
been
you can say
outgoing,
fat,
always
it's
been,
okay,
no,
it's
but always
okay.
been bubbly and stuff, and always been,
Yeah.
you know, great crack and all that.
Yeah.
But there is something different.
There's a different.
There
Everyone
is a
tells me there's a
difference.
different light.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's been a light off and now it's been
Yeah.
switched on. I'm
And
a
for
different
someone
person.
who's, for us anyway, I'll speak for myself, if someone's trying to lose weight, I know where you're at in your head, and I can't wait. to
And I know
hopefully
where
be
you
there
were.
someday.
And I know where you were.
We're at
and
the
I
bottom of the
know.
bleeding Mount
No,
Everest.
you're not.
Yeah.
And we're
No,
down
you're
with a
not.
Canada of
You're
oxygen.
not. But that's the thing. It's getting it in your head that you want to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's different. I still feel like, and there's a very hard mind thing in this. Like, I still feel big.
That is huge. You
So
were always
body
talking about that.
body
Body
dysmorphia.
dysmorphia. Yeah.
And do you get that?
Yeah, and then I walk by a mirror and I go, oh yeah, that's me now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as you were sitting here, you're thinking,
You forget.
but I'd say, like, you obviously sounds like you handle that quite well, but I'd say for people, that's a big
I'm
thing.
only handling it. You ask anybody. I went out not so long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and I bought a size 26 top, and I came home and I put it on and I went, that's too big.
Really?
It's still,
That's
you're still that
mad,
person
isn't it?
in your head.
Well,
That is mad.
Like, I still feel I've
Yeah.
another stone to go, and people are like, are you crazy? So I still have battles with myself.
Like, you mentioned there earlier about, like, your love of ice cream stuff, and is the way you eat, like, that's forcibly taken from you, the way you would have eaten, right? So now that you're, a year and a half post-op, are you in a new zone where this is the new you, or can you still feel that person, like, go on, eat more, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? The way
Oh,
me
the
and you-
demons.
Natalie.
Oh,
Do
little
I-
Natalie's still
Little
there.
Natalie. That's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I lie on the couch for a half an hour with the sweats. And I'm
Yeah.
like, now little Natalie.
Yeah.
bitch.
Li-
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better get out and get the good
So
toilet roll.
that's still
The fire
So that's
plug.
still
Listen,
there.
oh, that will never, and I say this to people, I am the fat person that I want to overeat. I want to have a bad day and come home and mill that share bag of crisps. That doesn't go away.
Yeah, see,
It
this is what I'm
doesn't.
talking about the cycle, and this is I want to go way back to the start when you were 9, when you were 12, when you were 15, and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you got into school. What was the trauma that? Like, because I've already said, I don't about shit. You'll probably say, so I always felt to pacify me, whether I was happy or sad.
Oh,
So
I do the
was
same.
it the same thing?
Same.
So it must be just a universal.
And when I
thing
was
with
lonely,
people.
if I was on
Yeah.
my own, I used to.
I can
I'd
only
secretly.
I can only picture you as a 9-year-old, like a girl. I have a daughter myself.
Oh.
You have a daughter, like, you know, when you see your kids going through that, like, it's a hard place to put yourself. But if you were looking back there now, what would you tell yourself?
I would.
Or is there?
I
anything you
would
can tell yourself?
educate me. I would
Educate.
educate myself. I think kids need to be educated
Mm.
because we think, kids are, they're not too young to learn about food. They're really not.
No, no, no.
They're not too, protein is good. We can have treats. maybe not all the time. Like, I don't know. When I grew up, it was, you know, you had your potatoes and you had your
meat and
sandwich
two
and you
veg
had,
or whatever. Yeah.
you know, and I didn't, like, my mum, she was on her own. It was me and her, and sometimes food was almost a treat, and you gave it to kids because maybe you were out
100%,
working all day,
100%.
or you were not, you weren't, you know, like, food for me was a comfort. Oh, it's down now and we'll have a curry,
Yeah.
or we'll go to the cinema and we'll get them.
Or it's just Tuesday I have for.
Listen, but isn't
Yeah.
there always an excuse?
Yeah.
You know,
I had a good day.
Yeah.
I had a bad day.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking again. Me and you often say this, and we have another third person joining the team in the sense that look at us, and if you have kids,
Yeah.
start that walk now.
Just stop.
Janie Mac, start
And
it now.
don't be listening to the state stuff. Do your own research.
Yeah,
You know.
But
100%. I just from a female point of view, then, like, I was chatting to some of the girls in the class, you know, after the transformation class, and we were chatting about weight, because we weighed in on Tuesday, and you know, some of the girls had great loss, but then say, oh well, just next week I probably won't lose anything, and they were saying for a woman it's so much harder for men, and the little I haven't.
What do you mean?
It's
For
it's
women?
hard, yeah, for to lose weight and
Yeah.
stuff.
You
But-
said for men.
Yeah.
Did I
Harder
say?
for men,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, apologise. I wasn't.
That's what
I
he
meant
was
for
thinking,
For
Peter.
women. For women, it's so
definitely,
much
100,
harder.
It is.
And I listened to your man David Smith has an audiobook, and he has 2 or 3 chapters just on women, and it's about, you know, monthly cycles
Yes.
Yeah.
and the hormones, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you starved yourself, you're gonna put on
It's
weight.
just
Yeah.
the extra fluid or whatever. Because I remember talking to my mate Claire. She done great in what that called? No, Slim World.
Yeah.
And it's my star week. What? I used to go, what do you mean? What's that? Well, you know, it's the no, don't want. Yeah, sound star week. Yeah, that's what they call it. So that's star
very
week.
good.
Yeah.
But, like, again, I think your story is gonna hit home with so many people. I mean,
Yeah.
like, we've
Yeah.
got new listeners coming on all the time. I hope there's some off the
Yeah.
back of this that have got
You
something
probably
from it.
get a heap of questions.
Yeah.
Listen,
And for them
I
requests-
said
Yeah.
to you, I'm an open book. I've nothing to hide. Like, some people don't like talking about it because they might feel like they took, you know, not an easy route, but people are very judgmental. I'm not going to lie. People are like, well, why didn't you just do it the normal way? And I'm like, well, if I could have done it for the last 30 years, well, will I not be sitting here happy?
100%.
Like, come on, I couldn't do it. I needed help. I asked for help.
100%.
What's wrong with asking for help?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's so many. If you don't go down that route, you go into a doctor, dietitian. The help is limited. It's
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
it's very. Oh, just eat less. Just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mentioned a good friend of mine, and his missus is the same. She's gone through doctors and she's gone through things. She's lost loads of weight. She's still carrying weight, but there's something medically behind that. And they're just doctors are like, they just don't. They don't want to investigate it. It's like we said, when you go into A&E, you go to the doctor. You've a sore toe, which heads your weight.
Yeah. Everything's your way, isn't it?
Everything's your
yes,
weight.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What do you say to people out there listening that think it's the easy way out? Like, how would
Oh.
you sum it up from being done both
It's
things?
certainly the hardest thing I've ever done.
Which I well believe.
And I've had 3 babies, and I've had 2 sections, and I've had, like, this is going in. Luke was a shoulder dystocia, so women will understand that one.
I don't know what I'd
And
delve into
yeah, no, like, I've had,
That sounds so.
you know, I've had to, yeah, it was, and it
Okay,
was,
then.
you know, he was nearly £10 anyway.
Only
So
2
it was,
Jesus, was he?
yeah, yeah. So and this was the hardest thing I've done. Obviously, I had the band, but this surgery,
Mentally as well.
Yeah.
I had a massive wobble the week before it.
Did you?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not doing it, can't do it. Look, I don't even look that bad. What's wrong with you all? They're all telling me to do it. People weren't telling me to do it. They were like, we're here. We'll help you what you need. Because I couldn't drive for a little while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then I was like, nah. As soon as I walked into the surgery, I was fine. It's just,
And
you know, you
now
get
that you're
nervous
here,
belly.
would you know, if you had to go back through that journey, would you do it again?
100%. I do it
Would you?
tomorrow.
And would you have done it in your 30s, say, instead
Oh,
of doing,
yes.
you would have gone straight to bypass?
If I'd have known half of what I know in my 20s, I'd have done it then. But this was my time.
Yeah,
This was my time.
yeah.
then.
And you've taken the bull by the horns.
Oh,
as I
listen,
say.
I told you, and I told everybody by 40. I ain't I had a party for my 40th. I
was a great
hated
party.
parties, right? I don't do parties. And I was like, I'm telling you now, I am not crying in a shop trying to get clothes. I am getting a dress and I'm going to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That dress was a 14.
That's amazing.
I've lost weight since then. That was November.
And that was, as your 40th was September last year?
It was November. So what, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I have to count on my fingers. 9 months.
You were 9 months
I was 9 months out.
And even by then, I remember in your party and you had the dress on, you looked
Sure, I was
brilliant.
at the party. I was
Yeah,
at your
you did,
party
yeah.
in my
A
tutu.
video was of you dancing, yeah.
I know. I went home with
At
it on my head.
Salford?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not remember
Do you
me?
remember me?
I was dancing with you.
Were you? Jesus.
You were in the pink outfit.
Yeah.
I had to get 2 glasses of wine and I was whoop whoop.
I was well.
That's
on
another
as well.
thing. Like,
So alcohol,
Yeah.
they recommend you don't have alcohol for the first 6 months because you don't know how it's going to affect you, and then obviously you have it in company that you'd feel comfortable with because you don't know how drunk you're going to be, and you know you wouldn't want to be out. You know yourself, so you're with. So obviously,
holy Jesus.
I went out and I had a glass of wine, and they say to you, it's usually it affects you 3 times. So 1 glass of wine would be like me having 3 glasses,
Right, okay.
and it's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even
Oh, wow.
now.
Yeah.
Wow. You said something there, because fair play to her, you brought a tray of Coke.
Yeah.
Which is
Coke
savage.
Zero.
Coke
And
Zero.
I was getting
Yeah.
ready, but you can't drink fizzy drinks.
No, I can't drink fizzy drinks.
Ever again?
No, they tell you. Now look, you can, but I get quite bad pains in my chest with the fizz.
Right.
And it can. They say it can stretch your stomach. I don't know if that's a myth or not, but I just choose not to.
Just, it's not worth
I
it.
would have had loads of Coke Zero. I love Coke Zero, but I just can't.
And come here, when you say alcohol, so what can you drink or what can you not drink?
I wouldn't have been a beer drinker anyway, but beer would be a no-no. I'd
'cause
like
the gas.
the gas, I imagine. And
Yeah.
then you don't want to stretch your stomach's a muscle and it'll stretch.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So if you overeat, like you feel, oh my God, if I
Yeah.
overeat, you know, like, and you're really hungry and you're,
Yeah.
you know, you
So
unconsciously
you can still
eat,
overeat.
I can.
Probably
Yeah.
easier now.
and then it hits me stomach, and then I have this pain. I have to go lie down.
Really.
Yeah.
Do you still get hunger pains? Because there might
Yeah.
be another myth. They
Yeah.
take out the hormone
No,
that
I'm-
tells your brain.
So
or
they
your stomach.
take out the hunger hormone in
Yeah.
the sleeve, I think, but the hunger pains, I
Oh,
still
yeah.
get hungry.
Well, that's a good thing because you don't want to go to the level. I've seen some transformations and I went to the level, the other side.
Yeah.
of the
Really,
spectrum.
There
really
is
And you're
people that go the
"Oh,
other
come
way.
here." That's
Skin
too
and bone,
much.
like.
Yeah, like a week stand.
You like a lot of people don't exercise.
Yeah.
So I got to, I think I was 14 and a half stone last August, 1st of August, and I said, right, I need to
Oh,
move
you
it now.
hit the plateau
Oh, I hit a
and
plateau.
then boom,
you
let's go
hit
to
a
the gym.
plateau like after 3 weeks of the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
What
like,
do you mean
holy
by plateau?
mammy.
So let's say you went in there. Did you know how much you wanted to lose?
Yeah, so the surgeon said to me, right, best case scenario, you're going to lose 7 stone. Best case, because you've had weight loss surgery, so you have to be realistic about this. He said, that's what we're looking at. That's what I'd like you to lose. He said, that's my goal for you. So that would have put me, I was 19 when I went in, so that would have put me at what, 11 and a half?
What? Yeah, but you're
11,
at your heaviest.
12.
You were 20 something. You said
I was 25 stone at my biggest, yeah. Yeah. And then I was like, I couldn't do anything. So I kind of went Slimmer World, you know, I did all the, Slimmer World is fantastic. Wait, I'm not bad mouthing anything, but they just didn't work for me because I'd leave. You were talking about the meal, so on Friday we called the Twilight Zone in way. Bobbins out, heavy
Yeah.
jewellery, shoes off,
everything.
literally in onto have a wee onto the
Don't eat
scales.
for the day.
Don't eat for a day. Don't eat lunch. Jesus,
No,
don't
don't
make
drink
me.
much.
No,
Yeah.
onto the scales. Lovely. Down £2 into the chipper on the way home.
Eat £2 worth.
Eat
We
£2.
used to do
You're
that.
eating all those calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlimited. I don't think is ever a good word, is it?
No. And you see, you were saying, so he's saying best guess 7 or
7
7 stone. If within the 2 years it starts to go like really the opposite, like, and the weight is lashing off you, what can he do to shore that up? Or is that
So
where the dietitian
that's
comes
when
in?
the dietitian
Okay.
comes in, and she will introduce good foods, good fats. The dietitian is amazing. I can't stress enough. Emer is amazing, and she's not unrealistic. Like, she's not go home and eat a carrot. She's not like that.
Yeah.
She's like, tell me what you eat.
Yeah.
We'll tweak it. have more of
I
this,
like
have
that.
less of
I
that,
like
do
that
this,
approach.
have this. Oh, she's lovely.
I do like that
Because
approach.
these dietitians, you can't have ketchup because it has sugar. Here I am. Will you get up out of it now?
Yeah,
Do
100%.
you use any of the apps, MyFitnessPal or anything?
So I would have always used MyFitnessPal, and I'll show you after. Like I've had my weight in there about 12 years,
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's up and down
Mad.
like. But yeah, I would have, and I would have been. So in my head, this was my last chance. So I was tracking every morsel of food at the start of this. Yeah,
Mm.
This is after the op.
after the
Yeah. Yeah.
and before. So I did this thing where the calories. It's an app, and you down. I don't want
So I
to,
was
you know,
watching it
but it's a thing, and you track everything or whatever. Like, and because I started it in January. So like the last push, I joined it in the January. I said I'm giving myself a year. I
Yeah.
gave myself that year.
Yeah.
Didn't work for me. They couldn't. Don't
Yeah.
know. Tried everything.
I think we'll have a switch off point as well. If we ever, hopefully, like we can sort of bust down with the gym, the swim. But if we ever do decide, I'd love to do that with you.
What?
Like if we ever decide, right, this is it,
To do
we need
yeah,
to do it.
Yeah. So we were on talking about that on
Because
the
the
way in.
support, like imagine you've done it all on your own. If you had someone doing
Now-
it with you, like,
I have a girl that had the surgery a month before me. I won't mention her name, and she was so supportive. She helped me so much to what I expect,
Yeah.
and it's just
Makes all the difference.
makes all the difference.
Mm.
And then I supported someone who, you know, yourself. There
Oh,
was
yeah.
a day between us,
Yeah, yeah.
and like, she's just
and that's
amazing.
the other thing. Thanks
I-
for coming on, because a lot of people that might get it done want to hide the fact they got it done. I'm not hiding, but it's a
I
personal
think
thing.
it's something that's really kind of blown up at the minute. Like there's like I know loads of people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because to be honest, I'm joined a lot of groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's so many people doing it.
There's a
Yeah.
And you always notice people when they're at wit's end and they join the group and said, "Hey, I'm at this point in my life. Please
Yeah.
tell me what I can do."
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for them because they're coming into this like this is the easy way out. This
Yeah,
is
that's
what
this
I'm cheating.
stigma. Yeah.
But I'm cheating doing this. But this poor lady says one star is looking at. I think she was like 43, 3 or 4 kids. After the babies arrived, the weight
Yeah.
went up, never came back down. Depressed over her head, and it's like I'm thinking about doing this. And sure, of course, she's in that group. Everyone's like, "Do
Yeah.
it, do it. It's the best
Yeah.
thing."
Mm.
Raging they didn't do it
I was
years
probably
ago.
ignorant to the same type of person. I'm not doing that. That's cheating. And
But
but after I educated myself since, and it's not.
But your worry was always the mental part. It's like little
Yeah.
people
Wow.
still be there.
Well, and then Natalie saying
Yeah.
she's
gotta
still
be there
there
anyway.
anyways.
yeah.
You know. So
Now, I can't go and mill the amount of food I would have been able to do, but I can still go and have crisps, and I can still have. I can
Yeah.
eat takeaways. I still can.
Well,
Yeah.
here I want to do a little bit myth busting. Chewing gum,
I eat jungle.
takeaways you've covered.
Yeah.
Coke and fizzy
Coke,
drinks can't
Now,
do
look,
it.
I know people that have had the surgery and do drink fizzy drinks, but they
Yeah.
just make me uncomfortable, so I just don't.
You're right. Yeah.
And anything else that you can't do anymore and you don't see yourself doing anymore.
Let's check the notes. I done
Right,
little notes. Right. So the hair loss for me was massive.
Oh, I said
I was really upset because, as you know, I had really long hair,
yeah,
and my hair was
Right.
always my
your safety net, probably.
safety blanket.
Yeah.
And that when I had the surgery, I lost so much hair, and it's so scary. And it's about 3 or 4 months into it,
Is that nutrients or
That's
hormones or?
and it's the anaesthetic from the surgery. So your
Oh, shit,
body,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
when your body is not getting the nutrients and the food, because you're probably eating about 400 calories. Like, I'm not going to lie here. I mean, I was having maybe a spoonful of Greek yogurt for breakfast, the tiniest bit of fish, and then maybe some sort of chicken blended for dinner. Like, I couldn't eat. For like the weight was like it was flying down. So your body, it's not getting it, and it's, you know, you're still keeping you alive and going and moving and doing the things, bringing the kids to school, going dancing. Like, I was still going. I
Yeah.
went back dancing after 6 weeks.
Mad.
Yeah.
You know.
See with the drink as well, actually. Your hangovers get less worse because one gaggle is like 3.
No,
No.
I actually think I'm worse.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get so much drunker. It's like, whoa.
The
next day I'm like dying of
went
death.
in the Domino's into you for the hangover film.
Just like before you wrap up and stuff, because there might be a part 2 of this, because you could talk for ages about it.
Listen,
But do you ever look at your pictures when you are big? You probably do, when you are smiling and think, We
Wasn't even
False.
happy there.
that happy
Oh,
there.
100%.
Yeah.
And you know what? I look at that picture I showed you and I go, I remember going out to get that outfit. I remember getting dressed and I remember crying, going, I'm not going.
And
We
that's
said
a
that.
psychological
Yeah.
thing that a
Oh,
lot of
We
us
said
do.
Mammy.
that when you go to a
Oh.
party when you're big and it's
Yeah.
like people, you look
I
great.
never went anywhere.
No, but you look great.
Yeah.
And you're like, I spent the last 2 hours upset or
You
Yeah.
were talking
depressed.
about that thing of, is it Big Boy they called? That
Yeah,
thing.
big
Big
man.
man.
Big man.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what I got?
What?
Aren't you such a good looking girl? It's such a pity about the weight. You've such
No
a
way.
you've
would
such you
No
People are
way.
I'm telling you.
Evil bastards.
they'd come over and they'd go, you're such a gorgeous face. It's an awful shame about the body.
I hope they got a backhander.
I just listen.
No
Like
way.
They could
I
see
met
you
my
now, huh?
husband when I was 15. I've been small, big, upside down, pink,
Yeah.
orange. He couldn't give a rat's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if to him, he's like, you're the same person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was worried I was going to change.
Yeah, because you do hear that. That's
Well,
actually something else.
people get
Actually.
Well,
overconfident as well.
There's a
and they do.
huge divorce rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because not say you, a person loses 10 stone, finds a new them?
And a new self-worth. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're maybe sticking into something that's maybe not the place for them. Yes. But I was never unhappy in my life
I
or
know what you
marriage or
mean.
any of that.
But that is actually something. Oh, I've
yeah,
heard that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's
is
sad,
mad.
but you're allowed to. I suppose you're allowed to change.
I'm
when
just
you're
out
a
more.
different person when you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm
It is what
I'm
it
the
is.
same person. Like I'm no different. I'm as crazy as I was, if not up a level. People say to me, "Are you going?" Yeah, I'm there. What'll I wear? And they're like,
Yeah,
"No, to
yeah.
the shop, Natalie, to the shop."
Yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm always out now. I'm like, "Come on,
Yeah.
Carol,
The
when are we
opening
organising it?"
a
Oh,
nickel of a
listen.
stamp. We're going.
I'm literally because I feel like I've spent so much time hiding in the shadows. I
Yeah,
used to
no,
be
fair
the
play
one
to
that
you.
minded the bag. Now I'm on the dance floor.
Yeah, fair play to you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, like I think we will have to get you back for a part 2.
Well, if there's anyone that has,
definitely.
there's
Yeah.
never a silly question because I had all the questions when people were having surgery.
Yeah, big time. I definitely think it's something that we could, depending on the reaction, delve more into. And there's loads more questions. I think we could do a couple more hours of this. But
Yeah. Is there anyone that you follow on Instagram that someone else might want? That?
There's a girl, Leah, and there's another girl, Rona, and they would have been very supportive. And actually, there's a girl called Samantha King. I don't know if you know her. She has hair products in Wicklow, and she had surgery, and she talks openly about it. And she was a great support to me.
Very good.
I've just had so many wonderful people
That's
help me
brilliant.
through
That's
it.
amazing.
I've had the Footsteps girls, my dance teacher Gwen. I've had the school community, all
Yeah,
the
school's
ladies,
great. They're great
yourself,
school, yeah, yeah.
Carol, all the girls,
Yeah.
and then obviously my husband.
Yeah,
Who
man,
puts
yeah,
up
fair
with me.
play to them, yeah.
So look, if
These are the
anyone wants to
unsung
ask you,
heroes.
If any,
questions,
there's no like
we're
no,
gonna plug you on the page and anyway.
there's
and
no,
Oh, yeah.
there's no, like I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. There's
Yeah.
a great bariatric. That's the word.
Bariatric.
Bariatric. I was
Bariatric.
actually going to send you the phonics of it, and I was like, you'll think I'm a cheeky bitch.
Bariatric.
There's
Well,
a great
Sam, you need to
bariatric.
start sending
There's a
them.
support page on Ireland.
Right.
Bariatric
For
Support
people who
Ireland
can't
on Facebook.
talk properly.
Yeah. All right.
But all the questions are there, and you can ask stuff anonymously.
Daddy. That's amazing.
Ah,
But if there's
brilliant.
anyone that's thinking of it or needs any sort of support, they're actually going to do a mentor program in the Blackrock Clinic, a buddy system.
Yeah.
They've asked, would I give my number? No problem.
Yeah,
That's
deadly.
amazing. Fair
I
play
don't
to
have
you.
anything to hide.
Like the
Deadly.
reason we were eager to get you on is to hopefully get rid of some of these kind of
The stigmas,
myths
isn't there?
and stigmas is a big thing. This I hope it's got across to people listening. No way is that an easy way out.
No,
No
No.
way.
no way.
Because it's
No.
like I said before, you're trading one set of problems for another,
Yeah.
Well,
but you now have a body.
you have to learn to
You now
eat
have
all
a
over
body.
again.
But you now have a body that
Yeah.
you're somewhat satisfied with. So you've taken that element out, but
But you're learning all over again. It's like being a baby, because what agrees with my body won't agree with someone else's.
Yeah.
I mean, they're telling you to eat protein and eggs, and I was so sick I couldn't eat them. I was in agony.
Oh,
So it depends.
yeah.
Everyone's different.
yeah. So I think that's it. Because I'm conscious of the time.
Yeah.
Everything will turn off, and we keep talking,
Yeah.
and we'll lose it all.
Probably gone already.
Just hope that. But come here, it was an absolute pleasure. I knew
Oh,
it
it
would
was
be.
brilliant,
I knew
yeah.
it would be great getting you
Yeah.
on. Thanks so much, and thanks for being so open.
Oh,
And
this-
like Pete said, if there's anyone that has questions,
Yeah.
yeah.
please Yeah, don't forget to like and share, because I think there's a lot of people out there that maybe are dabbling in this, that are afraid. So,
Yeah.
you know, thanks a million.
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
All right, bud.
Excellent.
All
All
right,
right, bud.